Now let's return to Kangaroo Island off the coast of South Australia. Our starting point for today's Kangaroo Island Odyssey is down on its southern shoreline with our guide, David Honor. David, what a remarkable place. We're at the remarkable rocks. We're on the edge of the Great Southern Ocean. The next landfall is the Antarctic way out here, and this truly is a magnificent and very unusual island.
Absolutely, it's an amazing place. Even just here at Remarkable Rocks, we've got places like this across the island that nature seems just to throw up. And they seem absolutely amazing and hard to describe, and science has always got an answer. There's always a reason behind a place like this. The island was separated from the mainland about 10,000 years ago, we believe, when sea levels rose. And I guess things have evolved quite differently. Our animal species have had to cope with the different conditions that come on Kangaroo Island compared to the mainland, and things like our kangaroos are a different subspecies of the eastern grey. They have longer fur and they're certainly more acclimatised for the Kangaroo Island conditions and the sort of the vegetation that we have for them to eat.
And David, many people would see this island as an ark.
Yeah, and I guess even early days, the island was certainly recognised as that. And we found that the government of the day saw populations, and certainly conservationists of the day saw populations of wildlife on the mainland that weren't surviving too well with the introduction of European crops and things. And they really saw Kangaroo Island as a place that they could, I guess, provide a refuge for some of those wildlife populations. We've seen things like the Cape Barren geese, the koala, and a number of other species of animal brought over to Kangaroo Island, and they've absolutely thrived over here, despite the fact they weren't here in recent times.
And formations like these remarkable rocks.
Yeah. Incredible, absolutely incredible, just carved over so many thousands of years. And it's actually a volcanic eruption here that you can see. Just the shapes have been created by the salt spray and the wind.
Now the wind has done miracles in eroding these rocks and creating these most beautiful sculptures.
They are, they're absolutely beautiful, and looks a bit Dali-esque. You really, you don't expect this when you come along. You see a big mountainous eruption, I guess, from a volcano, but to get up here and see the shapes that are created over by wind and certainly by salt spray throughout the years is quite incredible. And you can see the colours that come through, and they really shine with the sun. It's actually a living organism that changes each and every year. It's a lichen that grows there. It brings that amazing orange colour through. Just about a kilometre away from here is a place called Admiral's Arch, which is truly amazing. And there's a population of New Zealand fur seals that lives below, and this amazing arch that covers over that's just been eroded over the years. So that same effect that's happening right across the island of things changing each and every century.
Protecting ships sailing around Kangaroo Island's treacherous waters are a series of lighthouses. They were built more than 150 years ago, initially to guide sailing ships arriving into South Australian waters off the roaring 40 trade winds. The most unusual lighthouse is at Cape Border, the only square-shaped stone lighthouse ever built in South Australia, and armed with a signal cannon which is still fired every day. Visitors can stay here, or at modest bed and breakfast lodges found all over Kangaroo Island. The more upmarket traveller might fancy the brand new Southern Ocean Lodge, built on a secluded cliff on a rugged stretch of coast overlooking Hanson Bay. The lodge has been rated 6 stars and cost more than $10 million to build. Kangaroo Island also produces a number of natural products. Every day, some 400 ewes are milked at the Pure Sheep Dairy, where a range of Mediterranean-style cheeses are made.
Did you get it? 4 up, so you can all have a try. So feel free to eat that one up.
Honey is another export, with boxes full of honey frames brought in every day to the island beehive from beekeepers all over Kangaroo Island. The honey is warmed, spun and pumped into stainless steel vats before being poured into jars and labelled. Each jar of honey has its own flavour, depending on what plants were in flower at the time. Off the north coast, we're looking for bottlenose dolphins today. Skipper Andrew Neighbour has promised a very special encounter. And there they are, a pod of some 25 dolphins swimming close to shore. This pod is territorial, meaning you're able to swim with them and get very close.
they're naturally inquisitive, these guys, so they are going to come and have a look at us, and basically we pull up somewhere. It's nice and quiet and let them come to us, and if they do so, that's well and good. Basically, we've got, they're all bottlenose dolphins. They're the inshore dolphins, the friendly dolphins with a smile on their face. We've got about 25 in each pod, plus a few young fellas in there as well, yeah.
As well as the friendly dolphins, there are even friendlier seals. These are Australian sea lions cavorting off the far western end of the island. Like the dolphins, they're not fazed by swimmers, and in fact will swim ever so close to them. The more adventurous will just lay there, allowing swimmers to get ever so close to them. As a species, they're quite rare, with only 10,000 remaining, all of them living off Australia's south and west coasts. Today, though, it's like they don't have a care in the world, whiling the time of day away by swimming at speed, twisting and turning, and having ever so much fun. Next time we travel Oz, back to the Kimberley coast, this time for a day in the life of Eddie James. Pet sea eagles, collecting bush honey, spearing mud crabs.
A small stub, throwing back in time.
The two Tims take us fishing on the Gulf of Carpentaria, landing and cooking the catch of the day. And down to Tasmania's Tamar Valley, high speed through the treetops, seahorses galore. And that is TravelOz. I'm Grainger. Happy travels.